Hello, here we are with another Saturday Night Live Zoom. We had, it's December 29th. This will be the last Zoom of this year, I believe.
Well, tomorrow we have one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We haven't, because the interview from was supposed to be today, we moved it for tomorrow because they have a different time zone. So that was a change.
Yeah, but this will be the last question and answer for the year.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to take the opportunity to share the commitment and intention of Master Fast members, whoever is looking to share about their intentions for 2019, and sharing it would help. I believe help us and would help the person himself or herself. It's always nice to share and have your goals, well planned. So you look forward for the next year and maybe the next few years too.
Time is an illusion. And we use this method of keeping time in this realm because there's a cycle of this planet and the sun and so on and so forth, and we are not functioning at the level where, for instance, in our dream state, things happen instantaneously. In this heavy 3D matter state, everything is really slowed way down.
Mm-hmm.
So keeping this time tends to allow us to have a reference, I guess. But from my understanding, the past, present, and future is all intertwined in all the realms, as there is no time. Christmas is coming on, another one, and another year is almost come to the end. And what are we focusing on for creating the life we want to achieve and be, and set the examples for what's going on out there, being the change, as Gandhi put it, something along those lines. What we do affects every single atom in the universe, believe it or not. We cannot be separate. And all those, all of creation, it's hard to put that in a kind of perspective with our intellectual mind, that everything is connected. But if we look at how the body works, each individual cell, one of our blood cells is, you can make up the whole of you. And the same with the universe. We're just like one little cell, a part of the universe. And it's amazing that we can connect ourselves to the vastness of that information of creation at any time. It's all available to every single one of us. We've been or come to this realm, and for some reason there's a memory lapse that happens, and we don't remember any of this stuff. As we're being brought up in this world, we're being taught certain things of what to believe and so on and so forth. And we tend to believe some of these things as being facts when they are furthest thing from the truth, some of them, because they are just opinions and theories of a lot of people before us. So this is the amazing thing when you start getting into a fasting lifestyle. you start connecting and looking at things at a whole different way. Because what starts happening is you truly start lifting the veil that's been covering the access to your soul, which is always there. And the information starts flowing, and it starts flowing freely. The more you start fasting, the more the information flows. Like for myself, I've mentioned before, when I eat, I don't get a clear connection of to the source of this information. But when I fast, it's just awesome. The information that comes through, it's just like, wow, okay, wow. It just keeps coming through. So, we love to eat, but we love to fast much more. And we can't fast forever until you've come to a realized state where you have a total understanding that we don't need to eat physical foods to obtain our energy. And that has to be 100% without doubt. You need to have that total understanding. And most of us, 99.999% of people, are just not there. And it's okay. It's okay. But we can do it part-time, and we can slowly train ourselves to remember where we came from, where we didn't eat and we didn't have bodies. we worked with energies. Because this is how all of the universes work. They work on energy exchanges. And there is no waste byproducts in this type of energy exchange. It's just a give and take to find balance, and that balance is never achieved 100%. It's always an ongoing thing, which is happening at all times within all the universes. Things are always giving to the weaker to give them more balance, and then that one there may be a little weaker than the stronger one over here, and that one starts giving to that, and so on and so forth. So these energy exchanges are happening continuously all the time, and it's a give and take. So as one of the energies is giving, it's able to receive from other parts of the different energy sources, and this is the way all the universes are working. Every little atom is a plasma, and every little atom has that give and take, and we're all made up of atoms, and everything is made up of atoms. And this is how we're all connected to creation itself. It's very challenging to gain that understanding, but as we fast and connect, we will start gaining more and more and more of that understanding. Just think about when you're in your dream state. That is just as real as the physical state here. It's just in this state we have a body to drag around. In your dream state, you're leaving the body behind, and you can have things happen instantaneously in your dream state. If you remember your dreams, a lot of people can remember their dreams, and some people can't remember their dreams. But if you practice and have an intent of remembering and controlling where you're going in your dream, slowly but surely, you'll be able to master that as well, as some people do. So it's been quite an interesting year. For me, it was very interesting with all that has been happening, taking care of my mother and stuff. It's been a very challenging year. And the people that are taking care of their parents would know what I'm talking about until you actually go through it. Just like we talk about through the experience, the understanding comes. But the biggest thing is that I gave up on people a long time ago that don't have any interest. I don't try and push upon my beliefs or anything with people. Here's the information, and if you're interested and it sounds right to you, we're here to support you. You know, in a case where we have a parent that, or somebody else that doesn't believe in anything you're doing, and they're sick and they're in pain, it's a very challenging position to be in because it's your parent. And this is a huge, huge challenge. So you have to step back and look at the higher order of things. What are we both here to learn from this experience? And you have to basically step back and allow things to take place for the new understanding to manifest. And sometimes you have to watch people in pain and suffering, and it's not fun because environment dictates outcome. Your internal environment, your external environment will affect you. And if you don't believe so, why do you think so many people have so much problems with fasting and with food? Because they're around other people and that's going to affect them, you know. So we have to learn to find a balance in all things. And taking care of a parent is basically it's an honor position to be in, because especially your mother, you know, she's carried you for 9 months and then taken care of you for several more years. You know, fed you, clothed you, you know, gave you a shelter and so on and so forth. So it's a very, very difficult and challenging place to be when somebody's given up and they don't want to change anything, but they don't want to be in pain. So
Yeah.
nobody can really help you, honestly, in that situation. There's nobody who can help you. No drug, no doctor, no surgery, no whatever.
Yeah, I feel the most important thing is not necessarily are they living like are they eating the same food that we believe is the best? Are they fasting? It's more, are they responsible for their choices? That's the biggest thing, you know, because you know, are they responsible for their happiness or unhappiness? Because this one nobody can change. We can help with, you know, lifestyle stuff, but are you responsible for your own happiness or are you not? That's a big question. I mean, you can smoke, you can drink, you can do anything you want, but are you happy at the end? Because you know, your happiness is very important. You know, no matter what age you are, your happiness is very important, and you choose what you want. You're responsible for it.
Yeah, being responsible is key. You know, if you decide to go to a doctor and have a surgery and it goes wrong or you die, you're responsible. Don't point fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you're ignorant,
Not even at
you are
doctors.
responsible because you made the choice to put the trust in whoever without doing your research. And it doesn't matter that we've been fed all the wrong information today with the internet around, and especially um, uh, the knowledge that's out there.
Yeah, and especially when you have family members who are following, you know, clean eating, and you know, I mean, if an older person cannot go to the internet, maybe their kids are sharing with them, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, in general, there's so much information. It's too overwhelming for most people because there's so much garbage mixed and intertwined and everything. But at the end of the day, um, I just like I for myself, I just never felt comfortable with any of the white jackets myself. Even from when I was a little kid, I just never liked being around them. I never felt comfortable. There was a strong thing to stay away from them as much as possible. And I just don't know why some people just have blind faith in this mainstream medicine. It's just something that
It's part of the journey.
Yeah, it's part of the journey, but
part of everybody's experience.
like it's in black and white that they're in business to make a profit. And the number one most important thing is bottom line for all these corporations, or they wouldn't be in business. So just with that there, you know that there cannot be a just true system.
Yeah, it's not
Can't
easy
be.
though. It's not easy to see that.
Can't be.
You know, I mean, I was in science for a long time, and I believe science is the way to go. So, and I was in science, you know, like somebody who's not in science would have even more blind faith, you know. Yeah, so for me, the only thing that changed my mind on science and like medicine was when I started raw food. So, you know, I had, you know, the chance to experiment. So not everybody has this chance. So it's understandable, but again, it's their journey. If they go this path or this path, it's their journey. And you know, God planned it this way for everybody to experience it. So it's really not my business at the end of the day to a responsibility.
Everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So we step back, and what lesson did I need to learn from this experience? And even though you made the choice, the wrong choice or whatever, take responsibility and learn from the choices you made. And for some people, it may be too late. For a lot of people, because we see what happens when you make some wrong choices sometimes. Just like people get into a fasting lifestyle. Some people believe fasting kills you. I've never seen fasting kill anybody. I've seen eating kill people. And the biggest challenge is coming out of a long fast, people doing things that are not wise and not prudent, and actually pretty stupid, some people, because the information is available to how to break fast properly. When you choose to do it and not in line, you're putting yourself in a huge risk. If that's your understanding and you want to take the risk, by all means. But some people point fingers, and it's just like it's a laughing matter, because it's just plain stupid. Really, it's stupid. Stupidity and ignorance is a choice. It's a choice. And you want to take a risk? Be responsible. Be responsible. Yeah, you might live through eating shit after you break a long fast, but you might not. You know, a lot of people have survived the eating crap after a long fast. They've survived. Does that make it something that you should do? I don't think we should take a risk before. Any time you eat, that could be your last meal. People die all the time eating, all the time. And if you don't believe it, go to your local morgue and ask the family members of the people that died if they ate. And I can assure you, pretty much every single one of them ate. So, and if they didn't eat with their mouths, they maybe had some tube stuck in them or something to that nature or whatever. But either way, you're putting stuff through the body that the body does not work at its optimal when you put these things in the body. So our new understanding is we want to clean up the physical, the mental, and the emotional bodies of obstructions to allow that free-flowing energy to have no stagnant areas. And once we're getting close to that achievement, we want to keep it there. And with what we understand now, we're going to choose to go with the least obstructive foods, which are mainly fruits, green leaves, some veggies. And the more we go away from that, the more we get into the obstructive nature that brought us the imbalance in the first place. So here we are with a Q&A. The floor is all yours to share some of your insights of what the new year will bring for you. I've witnessed so much magic where people are actually living the lifestyle. It's just keeps me in awe. Witnessing the metamorphosis, the transformation in people. Not that there's no challenges. There's some of us out there who've put our bodies in a very, very severe imbalanced state. And we're not going to have some pleasant days, you know, when we're cleaning up. But when the understanding is there and we have so many tools to assist us to pull through, the only thing that's needed is that faith and trust in your own soul. That's really all there is. And that's the biggest challenge for people to develop because we have not been taught.
It takes time
about this. Nobody's taught us that, you know, you got to trust in your soul. They taught it's always something else or whatever, or you need this, that, and the other thing. And that's the beauty. Like, if you hang around children or whatever, anytime there's people around children, somebody's always trying to teach a child something. Unless, you know, they can, unless
instead of watching them,
instead of just watching them, let them be. They'll teach us because they're connected. It's our teaching them is what starts blocking them.
Yeah, it's so cute to watch them, babies.
And if we would just step back and allow things to process, you know, it's awesome what happens, because children don't know what fear is. They don't have a clue what fear is. We program the fear into them. If you know, if there's a fire going, the child will go right into the fire. There's absolutely no fear. Or if there's they're on a balcony, they'll go walk right and crawl over the balcony. They have no fear, no concept of it. And it's you know,
you want to teach them. I mean, you know.
I know we want to teach them, but see, this is the thing. Do we really want to teach them? Is there another way to bring safe, the understanding, or allow the process to happen? Maybe it's our fear that has them fall down. Maybe if we allow the process with absolutely no fear and trust, maybe they won't fall down. Maybe they'll start flying. We don't know.
Or maybe don't live in a balcony. That's unnatural.
So I'm just throwing some stuff around, but there's so much that we don't know. We just don't know. We have no clue about anything. But we do know that there's a wonderful system built into us from creation that is self-healing, and it runs on automation. The only thing we need to do is stop the digestive process for a long time.
Just be.
And
just be,
allow it to happen.
And usually being is not eating, you know.
So now we have a little more understanding than the wonderful Arnold Herritt, who is one of my great teachers, has shared with us some wonderful knowledge from just over 100 years now, 100 years ago. We have a little more understanding than I believe than what he had at that time. And at that time, he was talking about how toxic people were with drugs and so on and so forth. Okay, so you can imagine 100 years later where we are today with chemicals spewed over every probably square inch of the planet throughout. There's some form of man-made chemical all over the planet. Such a sad thing. And if we don't make changes now, there will be a point where every single human being will be running on chemicals, and it'll be too late to make changes.
You can fast. You can master fast.
Yeah, it's just let's focus on the beauty. Let's focus on the beauty. Let's focus on the beauty. So
okay. I'll go first if you like.
Yes.
Go ahead.
You know, I love, you know, I don't talk very much normally in my other world, the 3D world, but when I come to this world here, I got lots to say. There's a lot of things that come through.
How you doing now? What is it? 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
2 weeks. I had an emotional trigger. Yay! When I was eating, I had a big cry because it's the first time when I've actually released a lot of toxicity, and then I've been eating and I haven't put on any toxic waste. It's still same. So then I felt when I ate that the body, you could feel every food that goes into your mouth and through your GI tract, you feel it all doing its thing and it's talking to you. And I cried because every time when I have released waste, usually it goes back on pretty quickly. So the well, I don't call it inflammation, but you go into imbalance very, very quickly. And so this time it hasn't happened, right? So I just cried so much because like 15 years of just playing this game of, you know, up and down, trying all these different things because science tells you to do this and science tells you to do that, and they know everything, right? And not taking that personal responsibility within the soul. So when the realization came through, even with the eating, like, it's just amazing. It really is amazing. And I also want to say I don't believe in the word not ready, because I actually think there's such an urgency for people to have their life experience here in a human experience, that if you're in this MFS group, something has led you here. So you are already ready. The only thing that stops you from not going over the line, even if it's 30 days or doing something, is your fear, which is what you talk about, Gino and Rana, and everyone here is about the monkey mind. So my soul is really tough at the moment. So can I talk some tough language, which is just coming from love? Is that, and I'm sorry if I hurt anyone, because I don't want to hurt anyone, right? I love you. But the thing is, you've got to get over yourself. You really got to get over your own shit, you know, and just stop doing it and stop doing this to yourself. Stop sabotaging yourself. All it is just a mind game. And you've been playing this even I do. I still play the mind game. And we just continually play this mind game all the time. Get focused. Get into being precision focused. Get out of overwhelmment and just let the fear just park it for a little while. You know, you can play with fear. It's an interesting emotion to play with because you can do so much with it. It's there, you know, just it's teaching you something. It's saying to you to get rid of the mask. It's saying to you, you know, like what you said, Gino, lifting the veil off, because through the 108 days, I mean, so many veils got lifted off. I didn't expect it. I don't talk like this normally. If you saw me somewhere else, I'd probably just not say much to you at all, because there's nothing to really talk about besides this. So that's one thing I wanted to say, and then shall I go into my intentions, start the roll? Rana, I know I've been speaking to you about what I want to do for 2019, and I do want to do a 6-month MFS from the 1st of March until the 31st of August is 6 months on MFS. And so at the moment, because I'm eating, I usually do my 1-day dry every week and I have a 1-day rest, but I'm pretty much eating 5 days a week at the moment, but not a lot, because I actually don't have any cravings, and there is no the addictions of food that I had previously isn't there anymore. And I actually thought they may have kind of come back, but that hasn't really truly happened for me yet. And I want to make sure that doesn't happen. So what I'm planning to do in March is to decrease my eating days down to about 3, in January, and then in February move towards doing 2 days, then 1 day of eating, and then transition into the full MFS. So what my soul's saying is not to capture those, those triggers, so I don't get back into the vortex of the addictions that a lot of people talk about previously, how they they get captured, and I want to track this, and I want to get rid of. My intention is to eliminate majority and let go even more in that 6 months of MFS, from March to March to August, because in Australia that's when we move into autumn and winter. So for me to manage the environment and the social occasions, winter's going to be a lot easier, because even though in Brisbane it's not really cold in winter, it's actually quite hot, but everyone hibernates. So there's not going to be as much pressure to go out, do this, do that. And I'm able to control the environment and able to go even deeper within myself for more realizations, so that when I come out of it again, you know, to live the lifestyle, I've got to think about 9 years ahead and how I get to the goal of mainly living on liquids. So that's what I'm planning to do. I really truly believe that this human body can do it, and I truly believe that I'm more than ready to do it, and I really want to do it. And I think I'm going to reveal a lot of things that I don't know yet. So I'm going to definitely be living in the unknown place, which is the uncomfortable zone for most people, and I'm happy to go to that place and learn more, and still realise that I don't know a lot either. But that's my plan for that. And then I thought about my hyperfocus, because one of the things that I did for the 108 days was 100% complete dedication and focus on doing MFS. So nothing could penetrate. That I only needed the support of my husband, and I had the support of this group. I actually didn't need, for me personally, anything else. I knew if I had that and that was clear and clean for me, then I'm fine to go ahead. So the focus had to be very precision. So it has to be very narrow thinking, and you've got to eliminate all those other things around you. So what I thought about, that really worked for me, and I'm going to continue doing that in 2019. So the only things I'm going to focus on is living in the MFS realm, right? So whatever that, and MFS realm means to me, following the MFS protocols, doing the letting go, so always surrendering, and letting go even more, and living even less, so you have more. So I have that realization of less is more. It also means, it's like, doing the meditating, the breathing, using the support tools, listening to the 432 music, because that actually really helps, that 432, doing the stretching, going into the body. So that all means to MFS realm for me, living in the other dimensions, and then listening to the other dimensions when it's asking you to do something. So I've been trying to work on also working on integration, because with the eating thing, since I've been eating, a lot of the stuff is going, okay, you may have been in the other realm, but you need to actually come into integration, into the human experience, because sometimes you can go live on a mountain for 1,000 years and just be by yourself, but we still live in this space for a reason. So I need to somehow get the MFS realm and try and do that full integration into my physical body and into the human experience. So I want to work on a lot of that. So that's another focus I've got, which is about integration, and how I do that in that 6 months to integrate, whatever that means, I'm not sure. And also the identity of serving. I don't know what I'm really here for. That's something I just don't understand that. People say you've got a purpose, you've got a calling, you've got all this sort of thing. I don't have any much realization around that and what that means. And so about being in the state of flow and all those words that people use, I don't understand that. So I'm trying to ask that question of my identity, what my identity here is, and in what part of service that is, because it's a mystery to me. Is it just about being? Is it about just being creative? Is it that sort of thing. So I'm trying to rediscover that, which I'll do in 2019. And also relationship and connection is another intention. So letting go of the relationships that do not serve. I've been practicing that anyway in 2018, but I want to step it up a little bit further because I'm still a people pleaser, and where I will allow other people's energies to, sacrifice myself for their energies. And fair enough, like parents do, understand that you do sacrifice yourself for that because that is an honour. So you do, but you've got to fill yourself up in order to serve those types of relationships that have meaning for you. But the other types of relationships that don't have to be in your energy space, and that people pleasing, that's something I still need to work on. And I want to get stronger in that in order to, be of real service to the dimensions. And also language, because language and words hold us back. And it's a difficult one for me because you want to connect into the 3D world for people so you can lift them up by using their language and their understanding, but you don't really want to talk that language because you want to talk the language of MFS and that realm. And so I don't know how to connect that, because I notice when I use particular words, especially if it's legal words or corporate words and things of that nature, it really depletes me quite rapidly. And I don't know how to find, so I want to work out how to find that balance on when you use language and words, or should I be using pictures instead? I'm not sure how, when people come into your space, and I had this experience over Christmas, where people come into your space and because they feel something, they want to be more connected to you. So they use asking these questions. So when they ask you questions, you want to be able to talk to them in their language to lift them, but you don't want to use those words because it's like I feel the depletion go down, so the levels go down. So they're just trying to think. They're my intentions, and that's what I'm planning to do. And I have 2 questions for you, Gino, if I'm able to ask you.
Yeah, if I can answer.
I don't know. That's my goal. That's my intention for 2019, and I'm hoping that it's
ask your questions.
nerves. Okay, so when I had that experience with the pain in my knee, which is I had a feeling it had to do with nerves, and I want to know, is nerves got to do, because that's where I think that's where the regeneration happens. The nerves have to do with electricity, which turns into energy. And this is what I'm just coming through, and then it regenerates. So I think, and I could be wrong, but like when I had that pain in my knee, because the pain's gone, it was all nerves. And I noticed when I went through MFS is that my nerves were so heightened, that the energy was so high, that I actually think that's where regeneration happens in the nerves. And also I still got the burning in my palms and my soles of my feet, and I don't know what that means yet, but hopefully the soul will tell me. And the other question is, because I'm still trying to work out what I'm here for, and I wanted to ask everyone here is, I don't know what my gift is, and I don't know if other people see something in me that I don't see. And it's interesting because I remember going through school, I was so good at maths, right? I had a gift for maths and numbers, but it wasn't I wasn't aspired to it, and so I don't know, I'm confused on, or people say things to you, but I just don't, I'm confused on that. So hopefully that will be revealed for me in 2019.
Yeah, the pain in the knee. Have you had any injuries in that knee in your life?
No, the only thing I know is that I think it come from crawling, because the whole right side from the neck to the hip to the right knee, and even my ankle flips, which isn't actually flipping anymore, which is interesting. So if I wore heels, my right ankle would just flip. And so it's all on the right side. Yeah, but I've had that forever.
Well, in the physical terms, the right kidney, the right side of the kidney is not up to par, and the degeneration starts happening on the right side. And that could be interpreted as a knee or weak ligaments, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's in the physical, if we're looking at physical. If we're looking at the higher order of things, we have to go into the emotion. And we have to look not only at our lives, our parents' lives, our grandparents' lives, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. These things get carried through because we're not separate from. We are all one, attached through our whole lineage and heritage, and right since the beginning of time. And of course, we're part of the greater whole. But these things get carried through as what they say is inherited. I wouldn't.
Have to do with fear, right? So emotionally speaking.
Yeah, knees. All this stuff. It goes back to the kidney, and kidneys. Fear will.
Make them more obstructed.
Yeah, put them in a stressed mode. The kidneys they get tensed up. The kidneys and adrenals right away when we introduce fear into ourselves. But the process in this lifestyle, it's just starting for you. Like we say, 108 days, great. Open the doors now. What are you going to do? The regeneration, how it happens and why, who, where, whatever, we really, really don't know. My understanding of the nervous system, the way you explained it, is looking at it in the matter state of things. But if we look at it in the energetic terms, the nerves are actually have a nano coating, and it's a superconductor. The information flows through them instantaneous, back and forth, and I'm sure nerves have a very important part in regeneration. But what happens when the nerve is not there? For example, people who've had limbs amputated or whatever, and they feel pain. How do you explain that? Well, there's also the other bodies that are not physical are still there. They're still whole. I remember somebody mentioning about Kirlian photography. They did photos of people who had amputated hands or whatever. And in the Kirlian photography, the hand is there. Complete whole, even though the physical hand is not there. So, these phantom pains, they call them. How does the nerve, how does, what's the lizard that grows back their tail? And there's a few other reptilians that, can grow back their limbs. How do they do that, and why can't we do that? Well, that's a good question. There's not all animals are able to do that. But if one living species of creation can do it, there's a way that anybody can do it, because the information is available. We just have to find it and unlock that info. What we understand basically is when you stop the digestion, all kinds of things magically happen. As the obstructions, we can call it filth, we can call it gunk, we can call it this, that, but it's just obstructions. As we start moving out obstructions out of the physical body, we also are unlocking the obstructions and stagnant areas in the mental and the emotional side. That's why people have so many wild, crazy emotional swings when they're going through these cleanses. And these are the times we need to embrace these, to allow that energy to move. Because the reason we have a problem, an issue, is because there's a stagnation in the physical, mental, and emotional body. So the fasting allows the process to happen through the physical and back through the other way, instead of the other way around, where, you know, some people will try to do, which is much more difficult, I find. Working through the physical is much easier because in this realm, we're in the physical realm, and we can work with the physical realm. And it's much easier for most people to access all the information when they're working through the physical. So when we stop the digestion, the body goes into that elimination mode and starts moving out of obstructions. That we understand. How it exactly happens, I couldn't tell you. I have no clue. Because is it important that we know how it happens? No. The important thing is that it happens and it's on autopilot.
We're designed.
Yeah, it's designed inherently through our creator, that it's a self-healing mechanism when we stop the digestion. All animals do it automatically. When they're injured or sick, they stop eating and drinking. And that's, you know, a given. We understand that. We know that. You know, bears, look how big that animal is. It doesn't eat or drink for like 6-7 months a year. It's a massive animal.
Yeah, we're definitely more pure when we are fasting than we're eating. And when you're allowing this, you know, yourself to become pure again, I believe, you know, the body just does what it's designed to do.
Yeah.
You know, like you're removing the like, yeah.
If we have an energy highway of, just look at fields flowing through the physical body, mental and emotional body. But in the physical, it's also the energies flowing. If there's any kind of stagnation, for example, you have a pain, there's a blockage of energy. It's not flowing. So that's why the pain manifests. But it's at all levels. It's not only in the physical. Once we free that up, the energy starts flowing again, and the field interaction starts happening to where I like to call it blueprint. When we have obstructions, our physical body is not working at the blueprint level. Meaning, each and every one of us, no matter how we're born with deficiencies or defects or whatever, we still have a perfect blueprint. Why we came through with these deficiencies or imperfections or whatever, that has to go to higher order of things, and what we need to learn by these experiences. But once we understand there's a perfect blueprint there, and once you move out these stagnations, the access to that blueprint is automatic. It's automatic. And the fields start correcting themselves. The field exchanges start correcting themselves, and the physical body magically heals. Magically.
I mean, it's the way it's designed to be.
It's working on an energetic level. We're always trying to see how it works on the physical, and on the physical is only the effects in matter state. It's a small viewing window. We're seeing the effects in the state of three-dimensional. But this is not where things, where we can explain the proper things of how they work. We're not going to get the picture by looking at the physical. We have to go to the higher order of things. So there's a perfect blueprint, and we can access it, and it's an autopilot. The only thing we need to understand is let's embrace it, let's trust, and let's have faith and allow the process to happen. And sometimes it's challenging, difficult, so we have a lot of tools to use in the physical to get us through. Mainly it's the emotional side to pull us through the emotions. The physical can be very tough, but it's always going back to the emotional of our belief system. Should we carry on? Should we break it? I'm going to die. I'm going to this. I'm deficient.
I find these are all distractions, right? Like it's all
distractions, but they go through our head. It goes through our head.
Yeah, but when we're pure, we don't we're not distracted by this. Not physically, not emotionally. It's
we're living this whole life, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years of eating whatever, not the best things. Yeah. And the body gets into this state of severe imbalances. And how do you correct that in a fast, or a year or 2 years or 3 years? Could it be done instantaneously? Yeah, I believe it's possible. But for most part, it's not going to happen instantaneously for most of us. It's going to
Yeah.
be a process where you're going to have to devote and commit and make the changes in your lifestyle. And this will be over years. There's cycles in everything in the universe, as well as in nature, as well in our body. So depending where you are on these cycles, the rebalancing may happen quicker or may happen longer. And I don't fully understand about these cycles, but they are there, and it will be different for each and every one of us, depending on where you are in that cycle in the physical realm.
I find it, honestly, I find it's like prayer. You know, you can be very focused or you can be very distracted. You know, prayer, meditation. You can be very focused or you can be distracted. And we are at this point, humans are maybe as complicated as they have ever been and distracted. Yes, we have access to information more than ever with the internet. We are able to meditate by learning from the internet. We don't need to leave our home. We can learn, we can do a lot of things at home. We have access to information, but we are very distracted as well. You know, we have bills to pay. We have, you know, a husband or wife, the home, the work, and it's just so many different distractions. Yes, we have responsibilities, but it's just sometimes it's overwhelming, and we are very stressed out. And uh, you know, and it's important to just let go and purify a little bit, you know, and be in that state for a little bit until slowly you can be in that state all the time, almost, even when you are working, when you're doing things, you're you know,
See,
like you live it, you love it.
yeah, like the thing that happened with your knee during a fast, pains come and they go. A lot of people who've been on a long MFS have had pains disappear. Some people that they've had pains for years, 20, 30 years. And some of them, you know, magically they disappeared during a fast. Some of them, it started happening after they broke their fast. Because as we say, when you break the fast, there's lots going on, and it takes at least twice as long wait, to break the fast, to because we're putting the body in a complete different state when we go into a fast, and then we got to go back on food, and we're putting the body into a complete different state again. So there's a lot happening, and it's not going to happen instantaneously. For some people, their digestion will turn on pretty quick. Some people, it'll take weeks, because everybody has so much information that's unique and different than anybody else. So it's going to happen at different levels for everybody. It doesn't matter. You just need to understand and embrace the process, because it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen. If you're committed and you're following the basics of what we understand to keep everything clean, it's going to happen. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, we don't know. We don't know.
I was just going to say, the thing that I miss the most between fasting and eating is that when I was fasting, I automatically fell into meditative states. And even though my soul told me to go back into my body, where now I'm not, even though I'm only eating fruit, right, less obstructive foods, I have no desire for vegetables. There is no desire to have greens whatsoever, which has been all it has. Yeah, but that's what I miss the most, is that, because that's when I got the downloads, and I was able to function a lot better as a human than I am. I've got some confusion at the moment, right, which is, I knew that was going to happen, because you go back into the mind, right? So, but then you've got to practice. You actually have to practice meditating.
Yeah.
You have to practice it.
Yeah.
Where when you were fasting, you didn't have to practice.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And that's I miss, because I'm going, well, what's these differences? For me personally, it's not about food sugars. It's that. It's the fact that I just fell into it. I automatically stretched. I haven't walked for nearly 4 days. So where before the desire to be out in nature was pull.
And to move.
So I do believe things have to be easy, right? I think it should just automatically flow and happen. Where now it's like I've got to go for it's willpower, which is what I noticed big difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like as soon as you put any 3D foods in the body, this is why we keep saying eating and healing do not belong in the same sentence. Some people believe a diet will heal you. I'm not one of those persons. I used to believe that. The new understanding is that eating and healing do not belong in the same sentence. Only the body can feed, hydrate, balance, and heal itself. And that's the new understanding that we have. And as you jump into more and more fast, this information will make more and more sense over time. It's very difficult for anybody to believe or understand that. But Arnold Harris summed it up with V equals P take away O. That's basically a little definition of that formula that he put out for us over 100 years ago. So it's
yeah, I want to add something. Yeah, go ahead, finish.
Go.
Yeah, so it's interesting when you said now you need willpower. It's absolutely true. You know how everybody, like when I talk about fasting to someone new to fasting, they say, "Oh, well, you have a very strong willpower." And I'm like, no, that's absolutely not true, because now I have to watch what I'm eating. Whereas when I'm fasting, it is so easy. There's no desire. It just happens. When you're eating, you must stop eating. You must say, okay, that's enough. I don't want to overeat. Like you have to make rules almost, and it's not fun. Life is not fun when you have so many rules, right? You want to be free. You want to play. Yeah, eat for experience, for pleasure. But I would say, that's it. Once it becomes like, oh, I need to eat, then, there's, you're losing it, you're losing your freedom, and you need to use your willpower to say, okay, that's enough. I have to stop here. And you're doing amazingly, Ranjit. Beautiful, beautiful. 2 weeks, you're doing amazing, eating well, mainly fruits. There's no desire for the vegetables. I mean, even if you desire vegetables, nothing wrong with that, but you're doing really well, breaking it. Yeah, you're doing very well. Beautiful. And your emotions, you're very calm, and you can watch your mind when you're confused. You're giving it time, and that's very important. So you're getting into the meditation, which is very important to keep you sane, basically, right? To keep us sane. It's important to have emotional stability whenever you feel you're going a little bit out of balance. You try to bring yourself to balance again, so you're conscious about it.
Yeah, I noticed when I go out of balance is when I want to defend myself. So if someone says something to me, I want to rise up and defend. That's when I know it's my trigger to say, I'm in the mind. Yeah, my trigger.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, the triggers are all around us.
Yeah.
So you were talking about your knee, and what was the second part?
It's just about gifting what I'm here for, my service, what other people see in me, that they see a gift that I don't see, because we all have blind spots, and I just don't know what I'm here for. Besides being and experiencing and loving and all that, I have to go towards service. There is a legacy always that you leave behind.
Mm-hmm.
You are definitely inspiring many people.
Yeah.
With your journey.
Yeah, that's a big important part of sharing, keeping the energy flowing, allowing the gift of giving, the art of subtraction, to um, influence others in positive ways, so they can take on the wonderful plasma love flowing and have an understanding of what we're trying to do here, and how we can achieve it by being the change that we want to see. It's just so important for people to share. We are so ingrained in obstructions and stagnation in this realm, and that's why there's so much imbalance, and it could all change very easily with just a change of intent and emotion towards our fellow living beings, the planet itself, and every other single living being on this face of this planet, and throughout all the planets and stars and galaxies, etc. You know, the whole animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, and etc., microorganisms, etc. When we look at higher order of things, we are no more above or below anything in creation. I see everything as equal. So looking at it through a higher order, we see a different picture than looking at things in the physical realm. Like when we see how people are treating animals, for example, in these factory farms, it's just like, whoa, my God, are people still eating animals these days? And even though you can see what's going on, yeah, they're still eating animals. Yeah. So, you know, how do we get through to people like that? It's not going to happen by force. It's going to happen through an understanding. And this is where things will change more and more so. As more and more people come to that understanding, it just infiltrates everybody else, and it'll be the new norm. One day, people will say, "What are we doing eating animals? We used to eat animals." So, you know, it's the 100th monkey syndrome. 100th monkey syndrome. It's automatic. It's the information is available. It's there for people to tap in. What's Robbie saying? Oops, sorry, Rana. I'm trying to say hi to everyone. I haven't felt a bile to focus just on myself and have so little energy that I've decided to break and will shop for watermelon Monday. Awesome. I know I'm getting a long way from done. We're never going to be done, Robbie. It's a process, and it's okay. You have to be able to live and love what you're doing. If you're going to be getting up and feel that you're struggling every single day, that's not fun for anybody. But isn't that the way you were living before you even started MFS, from what I understand? So you have to make changes. You can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. And what some people may seem extreme is because they just don't understand what's happening, that we're putting ourselves in the autopilot mode to allow the soul to do all the work. And that understanding is not going to happen in one fast for most people, or two or three. It may take several years. It took me about 25 years to come to this understanding. So, you know, people are expecting one fast to gain that understanding. It may happen for, you know, 1 in a million people. It's not impossible, but it's several years of dedication and work and searching and wanting to find the truth and the answers of how this physical body heals. And we know what works now. We absolutely know what works. It's just are people willing to do whatever it takes, no matter what, no matter how long it may take? And that question, most people will not answer yes to all those questions, and that's the challenge. So if you've answered yes to that, it's just you're going to have to be able to put it at a pace where you're okay with it and you're comfortable with it, and it's just not too overwhelming for you. So you can back off and take a break And then when you're ready, start again. But in the meantime, when you break the fast, of course, you got to break it properly. And when you're, back on food, you got to maintain a clean diet as much as possible, because going back to all the old habits is not going to be well for anybody to go to that.
Yeah, Robbie, you're doing amazing. That's great. And I think it's a good time to start breaking your fast and slow down a little bit. So you start feeling, slowing down a little bit, because it's going deep right now for you.
So, yes,
And
yes, that's so patient is the word. Patience, persistent, consistency.
Yes.
That's the only way. And that's all we've been sharing.
That's what we're
and we
all
see
trying
that
to do,
this is what I just said. There's a lack in that, in the understanding of what it takes. The patience, persistent, consistency. It's always the same answer. Patience, persistent, consistency. People are looking for that magic pill to happen and snap out of everything that they've accumulated in their life. Like I said, it could happen 1 in a million. It's not that it's not impossible, but more than likely you're going to have to work for it, and allow the body to reverse all the damage, clean as you're cleaning it out and regenerate, and that takes time. We've seen miracles happen with people. And some people were probably in a much worse state than yourself, Robbie. Actually, there are a few people that were in a worse state than you, much worse, and they've put their body in a regenerated state, living this lifestyle. You went through a stage where you were traveling and you're doing all this. That's a big challenging time. Most people would not be in the best place if they're traveling doing an MFS. It better be in their home environment where they're comfortable. You have to really be in a very comfortable state of fasting for several years to be able to do something like this when you're traveling. Very, very, very few people would be able to do that. Very few. It's not a wise decision to be traveling when you're doing this.
You have to, but
if you have to, you have to. But most people will have a big challenge because you may not be able to find something, this, that, and the other thing, and it's just not a good place to be. Your enemas, so on and so forth. It's being in a traveling state. If we don't put the time in for ourselves, nobody else can do it for us. So we have to. What's the word I'm looking for? Sacrifice some time for ourselves. Every day we have to sacrifice some time for ourselves. 1 to 2 hours a day you need to spend on yourself minimum. Most people don't spend any time on themselves. And then you got to sacrifice certain blocks of time each year, so like for longer fasts. And if you're not committed to doing that,
it's important to make time for yourself and be in a balanced state. At least try your best to take a break to balance out.
Yeah, like with the foods, not everybody's going to be a fruitarian. It's not going to happen. And number one is the fruit quality, as we've talked about. Number two, is environment dictates outcome. And what's your environment? Who you interact with.
Yeah, but I mean, whatever you do your best. And
yeah, of course. But you're going to need to find
it's about eating less and eating cleaner.
Everybody's going to have to find their balance in eating as well as in fasting. And as long as you maintain most of your diet at 80 to 90%, clean, light, and raw, you're on the right track. You're on the right track. But the challenge is when we go to the cooked foods, we're going to want more and more of those. They're so addictive because cooking puts these structures in higher order. and
More
and
obstructive.
at the energy level, but in the physical level, they're more obstructive. And this is the hard thing for people to understand.
Yeah, but just understand it's more obstructive. So it's best to stay away from it. More addictive. Anything that's more obstructive is more addictive.
Yeah. So, you know, it's okay that you're going to break the fast, and just allow the process to happen with the other big change now, going back to food. And don't be impatient. Lots of patience is going to be needed there for the body to start processing food again. Let it be, keep the bowels moving, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what to do. There's lots of tools to use to continue the process and allow the energies to keep moving. That's number one key. Keep the energies flowing, keep the energies moving. When you're fasting and when you're eating, same thing. We got to keep everything moving and flowing. Otherwise, we start stagnating and getting, you know, obstructed again. And it's not fun feeling when you're having these stagnant energy areas in the body and the mind and the emotion. This is how we feel severe imbalances in this realm. So
Ranjit is saying, are you all okay that I am around for 9 years? Of course, please stay with us.
Robbie, I just had to start, and it just had to travel for my mom. Yeah, we understand. Things happen. At home, it's physically easier now, but emotionally more difficult.
Yeah.
I really appreciate the love and information being provided. Yep, it's a process, Robbie. And, you know, you're in it. You're doing it. Continue.
We love you, Robbie.
Just continue. That's
You
it.
look great.
Continue. Allow the process for you to be able to continue at you know, at your emotional level, and start enjoying it. Enjoy the process. Enjoy eating. You know, it's okay. It's okay. 108 days, as we say, is the start. It's people look at it at I have to 108 days.
No, you don't have to.
You don't have to, but what we believe people need to do is live and love the lifestyle after the 108 days. If you're just going to do 108 days, for what?
I mean, live it now, whatever it is, even if you don't do 108 days. Live the lifestyle now and enjoy it.
The lifestyle has got
find your way.
infinite ways you can enjoy it. There's for yourself. There's just infinite ways. 108 days, I really like for people to go to that and gain the experience and the understanding of what happens in that, and putting the body through such a dramatic change, and then building back up from that, because we know you can. And there's no problem.
Yeah, and you're not going to necessarily build up with food. The food is not the builder. It is not the builder. It slows down the detoxification. That's what it does. It is not the builder. Your body builds itself, even on fasting. But we take it slowly. Yeah. We can't detox too much too fast.
Marian is a perfect example. He for himself, he decided to stay on liquids. And he went to Skin and Bones, and he was freaking out a little bit. I go, just
complaining a lot at the beginning.
You know, you got patience, my friend. You're just starting, you know, a year into it.
And a year and a half, maybe.
Year and a half. And then when it coming close to 2 years, he sends me a photo of him putting on muscle on the same program. Liquids, no difference, you know. How does that happen? How does that happen?
Yeah, he did not eat.
Well, you're going to have to go to a higher order of things to gain that understanding. Because he's still on the same program with liquids on the Master Fast.
It took him a while, and many people take a long time as well.
But that's one dedicated soul, I can assure you. There's nobody dedicated like Mara, not even myself. how he's living this lifestyle. But he chose to live because he was on his deathbed, literally on his deathbed. So on the same program, he went to Skin and Bones, and then he started building muscle after almost 2 years on the same program. It took him almost 2 years. And some people, it may take them 4 years before they start putting on muscle, or 5 years. We don't know. Everybody will be different.
Maybe after 6 months, a person will start putting on weight. We don't know.
We don't know. We just don't know. And it doesn't matter.
Not only, and also, very important also is that we start moving. If we're just sitting there and fasting and not moving, we're just gonna, yes, the body's cleansing, things are flowing, it's cleaner, but it's, to start building, you want to move. And usually the body wants to move when you're fasting, especially when it becomes cleaner, right? As you get cleaner and cleaner, it wants to move. It wants to do these weird poses,
The more you eat, the more you don't want to do nothing.
Yeah.
And the more you get stagnant, then you want to eat more. And you stagnate even more and more eating.
And when you fast, when you're detoxing, you're going to become a little bit weak, of course, but then slowly your body wants to move. And it's important to move your body to build it. Salome, the professional tennis player who did 108 days on the massive fast, she lost the least weight of everybody else who has done the massive fast. She lost very little weight, gained muscles, and lost fat. So she was not skinny. She was totally healthy.
And she's been for a long time fruitarian, eating clean.
Yeah, she was eating cleaner, of course.
She's an athlete.
Also, nobody works out like her. Okay, 5 to 6 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week. None of us has done that,
Well, athletes do.
Not us, not the master fast, So that's very interesting as well. So if you want muscles, you want to work out.
Everything's possible. All the experiences we've had the privilege to watch people go through. Everything is there in front of your eyes. All the answers there. It's all there.
It's amazing. It's amazing what we hear, what we learn.
What you believe is another thing.
Yeah, the intention of surrender at the beginning of the fast is so vital, because when you talk about people have pain or they're a bit weak or this happens through their fast and their fear comes in, but when you actually surrender, the dimensions just take it. Like I find that, when you had these thoughts of having all these foods, so it was the dimensions that told me to taste the food in their dimension. You don't have to put it in. It wasn't anyone else. It was just, the soul just goes. So when I felt any pain or anything like that, I actually did the other day. 3 days ago, I had pain from my neck all the way down my body. It was just aching. Then I remembered, because of the fast, it says to hand it over, right? So I just handed it over. So the next day when I woke up, completely gone. So there's these teachings that happen. But when you surrender, when you're fasting, it just, I don't know why, but it just takes over, and you've got to let it go. You've got to give it completely, 100%. Then I think that helped me get through it, because I don't think if I didn't do that, I think I would have broken at some point.
When did you have that pain?
The pain I had was about 4 days ago. I had pain while I was eating, so from the bottom of my neck all the way down to my ankles. Like it was like, I don't know, like I don't want to talk about 3D stuff, but I could feel, it's probably a little bit arthritic, I suppose, in some ways.
Yeah.
But it was aching, like really ache for a whole day. And I just went, I just said to me, it is what it is, right? And then I said, what do I remember? And then I said, look, I'm handing it to you because I don't know what it is. But the next day I woke up, it was gone.
Yeah. Nice, very nice. It's good. It's good to let go and not to be afraid. Yeah. Yeah. Were you dry fasting that day? No.
No dry fasting. No, nothing. Just a normal day. Woke up in pain in bed, and then I just always think it's healing. I always think it's just body just always healing.
Yeah.
So I just go, well, I can't cope with my pain. So I'll give it to you because I don't know what to do with it at the moment. I just think it's just healing, like the knee pain. I go, it's just healing. You know, I focus on my belief is very strong. So I don't want to go into duality and sort of think, oh, it could be this, it could be that, might be this, maybe you need to go to the doctor, or maybe this, because I could think that, right? But what my 108 days taught me, I mean, what's the use of me doing 108 days and I'm not going to bring it back into what I'm doing? Like, you know, writing down and remembering things. Like I kind of like go, well, it taught me something, so why can't I use it while I'm eating, I think? And then it tests you, I think. I believe, you know, we're all here for tests for some reason, and I just go, okay, this has happened, so what do I do with it? And the only thing I know to do with it, because now I remember, is that you hand it over to the other dimension because they know what to do with it, and the body's more intelligent than my mind, and you hand it over, and then next day I woke up, it was all gone.
Yeah, like if you've noticed when you're in a fast, things can change by the minute. Like meaning you can feel amazing one minute and next minute you feel horrible, or the other way around, you feel horrible one minute and you feel amazing once you release. And it can happen sometimes a few times in a day. And this is how amazing the body is. And when you step back and look at what's going on, it's usually just before you need, the body's trying to release something. You feel like crap, and you release and you feel amazing. So right away, you got to think about your mantra, V equals P, take away O. As that obstruction's moving out, you know, you're going to feel it wanting to move out. As it passes out, as it comes out, and the energy goes up because you moved out an obstruction, not only in the physical, but in the mental and emotional. And this is the beauty of fasting. And we've seen this so much with people, you know, they're feeling horrible and they have a release and they feel amazing. So every time you have anything coming up, get the good old superhero enema bag, right? Give yourself an enema anytime you feel off, no matter what it is, while you're fasting. That is the key. And even when you're eating, you know, if, like we said, if we put a colon hydrotherapist in all the ER rooms, the hospitals would be empty. First thing they would do, if anybody who goes in emergency, give them an enema. Pretty much anybody, depending what, you know what I mean, unless it's an accident or something, but even an accident would help. Give them an enema. Most of them would be sent home. The hospitals would be empty. You know, so the good old superhero enema bag is our best friend, and it's something that is misunderstood. You know, so many comments, it's going to make your bowels weak or this, that, and the other thing. We've heard it all. We've heard it all, and it's the furthest thing from the truth.
Yeah. Anyone else wants to share their intentions for 2019, living this lifestyle? No?
I would like to see, you know, more people actually living the lifestyle, not believing this thing is an event like going to a circus. This is the biggest misunderstanding that we see people coming to this page, to this group. We see it over and over and over. The beauty starts happening when you live the lifestyle.
I can share my my intentions for 2019. I mean, I actually had them a while ago, but I kept kind of falling off once in a while, and so they're being delayed. So here they are. I mean, so they're always the same. I'm not changing my goals. They were always the same, and I'll keep them the same because I feel this is the right thing for me. And basically for 2019, the plan is to do Master Fast weekly. eating 1 day a week, maybe sometimes 2 days if like I have, if it's an occasional, like socially, like this week actually I ate also on Tuesday. I ate on Sunday last week, Tuesday, and I'm eating again tomorrow. So that's 2 days a week, Tuesday and Sunday. So once in a while, I don't mind, but I don't want to make it a habit, because the more I eat, the more the attachment to the food, the stronger the attachment to the food. I don't want that attachment. I don't want to feel like I need the food, but I want to enjoy the food when I eat it, and eat it simply for pleasure. So basically, 1 day a week of eating, 24 hours a day of daily. So master fast Monday to Saturday and eating on Sunday. Dry fasting, the minimum, which is 12 hours a day, 24 hours a week, and up to 72 hours a month. Maybe I'll go up a little bit every season, doing like different levels of dry fasting. Maybe if I have to sip on a little bit of juice, I will, just to keep me going. And the plan is, so I started December 9th this year, and the plan is December 9th next year to go a little bit further with the dry, and maybe reduce the food on Sunday. So now I'm eating 2 meals of fruits on Sunday and 1 meal of salad, usually raw, but I don't mind if I, sometimes maybe bake sweet potato or something. And I will see how I feel. If it doesn't feel good, then I'm not gonna eat it anymore. But yeah, so the year after that would be maybe 1 meal of fruit, 1 meal of vegetables, mainly raw. So basically reduce my feeding window, reduce my meals, even with the drinking, reduce my drinking window, increase my dry fasting daily, weekly, monthly. But it's not going to be much more increased, maybe daily by 3 hours. I don't care to, and I will drink less as well, less juice to drink. And the year after, keep going, increase. So I have a plan of how many hours of daily, weekly, and monthly dries I want to do over the next, the plan is 6 years, I think, or 7 years, I don't remember. Yeah, so it's very simple plan. It's master fast weekly, and extending my dries, and reducing my juice, and reducing my food as well. Yeah, very simple plan. I don't see anything else that would help me at this point. I feel like, of course, eventually I want to do full master fast 7 days a week all the time. But for now, I want to keep 1 day a week of eating just for pleasure. I might not give up food. Who knows? Like in 2 years, I might say, you know what? I don't mind eating once in a while, because everybody around me, not at home, but outside home, is eating, my family and friends. And maybe it would be easier to be around them, eating, enjoying food. But I prefer my own food. It makes me feel better to eat my own food. So wherever I go, I want to bring food. And I love to bring people over to have my food as well. So my family, friends, you know. So yeah, I feel better definitely eating my own food without the oils and the salt, keeping it very light and simple, not so much cooking. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe I won't give up food. I mean, the plan is 2 years of eating, but 1 day a week. But maybe I will not give up food after that if I enjoy it for pleasure once in a while. I'll probably eat less days, just once in a while, whenever I feel like it. As long as I think that it's very important at the end of the day to be free from needing food. That's the whole point. I feel with Master Fast Weekly, I feel it now. I'm not hungry. Gino eats around me sometimes and I'm not hungry. I prepare food for him, I'm not hungry at all. But I'm looking forward to eat tomorrow. But that's it. It's yeah, I'm sure this looking forward will decrease with time. Yeah, this you know, wanting to eat for pleasure even will decrease with time. I'm sure, but I'll give it a few months before I see. Yeah, that's it. If anyone has questions about it, let me know.
Margaret, I think you've been hacked. We got another friendship from you.
Yeah.
So there's somebody playing using your name and your photograph with another Facebook account. Just so you know.
Am I on?
You're on.
I can't hear very well. My head is all stuffed up.
Oh yeah.
It's like the whole thing is moved over. My jaw doesn't go together the right, and my ears are plugged. And I only got 3 hours sleep last night. That's why I'm laying down. But I'm going to continue this next year, eating and doing both. Master fast, hybrid, and days of eating. I'm just trying to think. Oh, it's almost asleep.
Yeah. You're still on the hybrid now?
Pardon?
You're still on the hybrid?
I am doing basically a hybrid and then 2 days of eating. And wish I could turn this up. Of course, I've got the surgery coming up on the 11th. I don't think that, I don't know. I don't know what to do about that, but I guess it's coming up. So I still am not really clear in the eyes. So, but I'm going to try and get my license next week. And if I can't, then I'll have to get the surgery.
Right.
Other than that, I managed to get my feet swelled up. And they get very hot. And they get very cold. So I walk around the floor to cool them off, but
yeah, well, lots going on. You're still, what, only a few weeks into after you break your fast? How many weeks of eating?
Maybe 1 week, 1 month, maybe.
I'll have to plug this in. I can't hear you.
How many weeks of eating are you on now after your fast?
It's been a month.
1 month, yeah. You're still very early. So there's lots going on in the body. Just keep going, keep the using the tools, and you know, everything will balance out.
I still, sometimes when I do my enemas, it smells like I'm doing road tarring.
Wow.
It's I thought I was outside, but I found out it's in my own toilet. Smells like the tar in the road. It's all the chemicals coming out, I guess.
Wow, interesting.
And your eating is okay? Your diet? How's that?
Are you mostly on fruit, or what are you eating, Margaret?
I'm fruits. I'm on fruits and I'm on vegetables because fruits don't taste good to me. Oranges are okay, but most of the fruits are. I did try some tomatoes, but it's mostly veggie fruits.
Oh, okay, the non-sweet.
Squashes and stuff like that. Yeah.
Your bowels are
But,
moving well?
pardon?
Your bowels are moving well?
Oh, yeah. After the fast, I had dry fast the next day, or today. I had a bowel movement that was 3 feet long,
Oh my God.
but I took some pudding the day before, so that was in there too.
Right.
Yeah. Oh,
Your
yeah,
bowels
and it
moving.
wasn't hard,
Awesome.
Nice.
and it wasn't with the enema.
Very
So, but
good.
yeah, and I've been making soup too, vegetable soup.
All right.
Yeah,
You're doing well. You're doing amazing. Patience.
I'm working at it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm gonna plug this back in so I can hear.
Robbie had a question.
I don't know how to get this mucus out of my head.
So
Um,
what happened? Yeah.
Do
The
some
mucus
neti,
in my head is so thick.
do some neti pots, do some ear candles, get some energy moving.
It seems like the ear candles made it worse, but maybe that's got to get worse to get better.
Well, you're moving
Yeah,
stuff. So how many ear
yeah.
candles did you do?
How many ears? I did 4.
In
4.
each ear or 2 and 2?
2 and 2.
Okay, well, do another couple maybe in a few days if you just did them. Um, Also, you can do castor oil packs on the back of the head, just so you start getting things moving. This area here is very hard for a lot of people to get energy moving, the head area. And the plugged ears is not fun. I had that, but it'll move out. There's lots going on because you're still in the breaking the fast mode for the next 5 months. It lasts at least 6 months after you break your 108 days. So there's going to be lots going on for the body to get used to eating again.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe also do your best with mainly fruits when you're eating.
I can't hear her.
She said, try and stay mainly on fruits. The non-sweet fruits are good too. Stay on fruits as much as you can.
Okay,
Yeah.
Maybe
I forgot what I was going to say.
you can
Oh, I had this ear problem about 7 years ago.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, yep. And I had it for like 6 months before it went away.
Wow. So yeah, the body's trying to move that out because that was a
Yep.
long time that you've had that problem.
It didn't have to do it again. Right.
Yeah, all the weaknesses will come to the surface when you're fasting. Also, when you're breaking the fast, a lot of things are still going on. So you're going to see a lot of changes happening over the next few months. How's your energy?
Pardon?
How's your energy?
Not good.
Not good yet?
Not good. No,
Was it better on the fast?
because I'm not sleeping. I'm not sleeping that well.
Ah, because of the ear.
It's like 3 in the morning before I fall asleep, and I wake up at 7.
Right. How was the energy before you had the ear problem, the ear plugged up?
Oh, it wasn't too bad.
Okay. So
I
it's just,
started sleeping better too.
yeah, it's just because of the ear now. Okay, I see. So try and get some energy moving in the head area to move things out.
Okay. Happy New Year to you both and everybody.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
I'm gonna plug my ear back in so I can hear.
Robbie had a question.
Robbie, how much juice do you drink daily now, Rana? And do you take herbs daily? Which ones and how much?
Yes, Robbie. So I actually I'm drinking these days 3 liters because today's the third. It's the third week. So I said to myself, it's okay, you can drink all you want. So I'm drinking 3 liters. I usually drink 2, so I'm going to go to 2 soon, maybe in the new year, because 2 is more than enough. And do you take daily herbs? Yes, I do. I take 13 tinctures. So I'm taking
Last Supper.
Last Supper 12 and another one for emotions as well. Yeah, there is Happy Times we have, right? Is it Happy Times? Yeah. On the custom tincture. Yeah. Yeah, I love my herbs and I'm loving them now. I'm drinking them with the tea. I put some maple syrup and it's just, I love it. I love the tea with the herbs. It's like coffee. It's very strong.
Better than coffee.
But of course, yeah, it doesn't give me the shock that coffee does. Yeah, it becomes very dark because we have so many different herbs in the tea. And I add the tinctures to that, about 5 milliliters of tinctures in the morning and then 5 in the evening.
Yeah, we make our tea very strong.
Yeah.
Lots of herbs.
And it's sweet. We put the maple syrup. It's very nice.
So for 2019,
Your turn.
we the whole intent and emotion of what Masterfast is to help people live in peace, balance, and correct conduct, and trust in their soul. That's the whole theme of what we're doing. Has nothing to do with anything else. And once people take responsibility for that, we will see this planet be in a total blissful state. Until that time comes, we can only be responsible for ourselves. And as a whole, we need to be responsible for what's happening because we're part of the problem. So we'll do the best to be more and more loving and keep that plasma love flowing to all the beings on this planet. And hopefully we will see the day where people will stop eating animals and everything else. And, so they can all live freely and peacefully and to the extent of their life, because the stuff that's going on behind the scenes is not nice, not pleasant, but the reality of the matter, it is happening, and it's been happening for a long time. But at this stage, what is it? A billion animals a week are consumed around the world, or more. It's more than a billion animals. It's like the numbers are crazy, insane. So through the lifestyle of less is more, we can make a huge impact of people choosing to eat less and eat cleaner and eat lighter and moving towards that way. So there'll be much more peace on this planet by living this lifestyle, and much more impact in saving this planet. We see all the garbage going on in the oceans and on the land and in the air and so on and so forth. Whatever the agenda is, it doesn't matter. Plasma love always flowing is much more powerful than all the other agendas out there. As we said, no matter how much darkness, you cannot put out the light of a little candle. And each one of us committing and living this lifestyle is that little candle shining in the vastness of the darkness. And they can put as much darkness as they want. The light will still shine, and we can only make it brighter and brighter and brighter when we commit to ourselves. And this is really all that we're sharing here is for people to take charge of themselves, be responsible for all decisions, stop pointing fingers no matter what happens. It's always our responsibility for every action and decision we do in our lives. And until you make that choice, nothing is going to really change. In the higher order of things, it'll all be revealed, hopefully later than sooner. When our time comes to jump the fence, we'll have a whole different picture of how the operations of the universe work. But until that time, we have a basic understanding, and we do know that in the operations of the universe, it could not continue if there wasn't balance. In this realm is where humans, the intellect, the ego, throws everything out of balance because they think they know better.
Yeah, but
We
it's
think
all
we know
designed by the creator for a reason. So
Yeah.
we are here.
Everything's exactly the way it's
experience it.
supposed to be.
Yeah. We have so much power than I believe than we think. By simply being the change we want to see. I mean, this is huge, really. I mean, just being the change we want to see. Before you do something, you know, think, do you want to someone, do you want to be treated the same way? I mean, this is very powerful. If yes, then go ahead, you know. If not, then don't. Let's not hurt each other. Um, yeah, let's do our best, and if we feel like we want people to eat better, we cannot really change that so much, you know. They are responsible for themselves, but we can be the change, living it and loving it and enjoying it. And when you're radiating happiness, then maybe they will come and ask you what you're doing, you know, and you can share more. I mean, it's very powerful. Just being the change we want to see is very powerful. I think it's already, you know, it will make this world a better place for sure.
Yeah, I hope the message of what this is able to come through to more people. This is not an event, it's not a circus, it's a lifestyle. And the magic happens for the people that do it and live it and love it. That's
enjoying it.
biggest
You want to enjoy.
Yeah, you need to love it. You need to enjoy it.
I mean, you will love it. You don't even need to do it. You will fall in love with it when you do it. You know, like really, I mean, you don't even need to put an effort.
Yeah.
The effort is to do the bad things. I know that's more effort.
Yeah, it seems a few, you know, have done a long MFS, disappeared, and then come back. Oh, I need to get back on. I felt so much better.
Yeah.
You can't deny yourself when you look in the mirror. You know, you can only fool yourself. You can't fool anybody else. Robbie, kidney tea base with others added. Yes, kidney tea is the base always. And we had a whole bunch of herbs that we've picked from our gardens and froze. And so
any herbs you have?
Yeah, so we just add everything.
Dry, anything we have.
Okay, what time we? Oh, we're already at 2 hours. Wow. All right, so Inga, did you fall asleep? Anything else, anybody, or we can wrap it up, call it a night?
I was just going to say to the people that watch the recording, you know, think about where you're going to be this time next year as we enter into the biggest decade of 2020. So what we do now prepares us for 2020. That's how I see 2019, is that we move into the new decade of 2020. We end the teens and we go into being 20 again. So let's do it. And I'm going to stay on the, like with all of us here. I'm part of the soul here as one. So I'm going to be part of the group and, you know, create the energy, like what you said at the beginning, Gino, about atoms. You know, but what we do, what you do, what everyone else does here, everyone does in the group, it penetrates through. You know, we only need a few of us, really, and it will penetrate, and more of us that can be together in 2019, living the lifestyle, the better it is for humanity in the long run. So thank you for having this for us, Gino and Rana, and everyone else here. I love you so much. Like, the love is just huge. It's beyond what I can even, beyond whatever I ever thought what even love was. Thank you. Mwah.
You're welcome.
Love you. Love you all. Thank you.
Mark, also here from Germany. Get well to the new year, and Happy New Year for you all. Awesome.
Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure, as always, to hang out and be inspired by you all.
And David.
Yeah. Oh, David, Happy New Year, Plaf. Plasma love always flowing. Awesome, David. Like I said, we're here 3 years, more than 3 years have passed, almost 3.5, and we're still here. We're still here. So it's awesome that everybody that's shared and their wonderful, experiences, and it's touched so many souls. You know, there's a lot of people who watch these videos after, and it's awesome. We get feedback from people, and it's just a beautiful thing to watch. And like you said, I never thought about that. This is the last year as a teenager. So we'll move into the 2020s very soon. Another year will fly by just like this one flew by. Where did it go? It's gone. An illusion of time.
The funny thing is, we're all in it together, so we're all 19 again. Every one of us.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Robbie, yes, much appreciation or appreciation. Pleased to be part of the feel group, the feel of this group. Thank you, Plaf.
Thank you.
All right, so Margaret, you know what to do. Take care. Robbie, David, Mark, thank you. Inga, Ranjit.
Love you all.
It's awesome to have you all.
Yes. Thank you.
You want to say something, Mark? Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to take the last minute to say that I'm still on full master fast, that I'm really happy to follow you. Unfortunately, my English is not so strong, and last night I did not sleep at all, and today I have really hard working day until in the evening. Now already 3 a.m. here in Germany.
Wow. Yeah.
And so I just prefer to listen to you. It's already difficult enough for me. But I can follow you, and I still will follow you all the next year for sure. So also get well to the new year, all of you, and yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you so much. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you back on the page. Maybe tomorrow some people will join. We'll see for the interview. And thank you all so much. We had a blast for 2018, and it's almost over now. We start the new beginning. Ciao, ciao. God bless.
Ciao, ciao.